Welcome back everybody, this is Legit Lee back again with another video for you. Today I'm going to be showing part 3 of my Blender's linear actuator. I came up with another part to this design, well really an add-on. So we last left off where we were having trouble with the mount. You can see my 20mm thick mountain bracket for the pillow block is kind of blocking the holes to the NEMA 23 stepper motor mount. So you know the holes that go all the way through to mount it to the actual actuator. But so what I'm gonna do here, instead of using these mounting holes, I'm gonna get into this design, this plate, and we're going to make an extra wall come out, go around and pull this backwards a little bit, and wind up adding a spacer, if you would. You'll see what I mean here in a moment. So first we want to kind of understand how long we want our stuff to be. So what I mean by that is down here you can see like the spacer, then there's like a screw that goes over here to mount it to their plate. So what I'm gonna do is go to the top view by hitting 7 on my number pad. I'm sorry, hold on, 7, there we go. And then I don't have my capture keys yet. I'll have to figure out how to get that set up, but I just want to make this video kind of quick here. So I'm gonna hit control and pull this up out of the way, just going back on the y-axis, and then we're gonna go ahead and I don't know if we should hide. I guess we could hide this one for now by pressing H on your keyboard. And you can see these mounting holes just aren't going to work. So what we're going to do is click on this object and then go into hit tab to go into edit mode, and see those holes right there. At least these ones we're not going to be able to use, so we're going to have to cover those holes up. So what I'm going to do is first we're going to shift alt select. Oh wait, hold on, we need to do, let me undo that. We're gonna go to edit, not edit, but hit faces, my mistake. So then we do shift alt click, and now removes those faces. Shift alt click removes those two faces. Shift click for that one and shift click for that one. So now all these other faces here are selected. So what we're gonna do is hit X to delete the faces. So X, and we're selecting faces, and they're all gone. So now what we're gonna do is select the edge select mode and hit Alt Shift click click, and then if we zoom in you can see that all the edges were selected, and we're gonna hit F to face, and that'll face all those up. And we're gonna do the same thing for each one of those. So I'm gonna hurry up and speed up here. So if I press A multiple times and just hit shift alt click click F, and then tap A to deselect, shift alt click and click F. Wrong button. There we go. That faced them all. And grab F. And the reason why I'm doing this is to fix my geometry a little bit, so when we go to extruding out the bracket, you'll see what I mean here in a minute. I would have been streaming this, but I was having issues with YouTube this morning. It was not allowing me to set up my stream. I don't know why, but I'm pretty sure it's just some bug they're trying to fix as we speak. So this is not a stream video, just a regular me pre-recorded video here. And honestly, I don't know if people rather watch stream videos or pre-recorded. I don't really see what the difference is, but people tend not to watch streams. They rather watch regular recorded videos. I guess they think it's going to be shorter, but stuff like this is going to take some time for you to understand, so I don't try to sugarcoat or do anything stupid with my stuff. Anyway, now that we have all that, we're going to now start removing some of these edges. So if I select all these, well, actually let me just select these top edges here, hit right click, and then we can dissolve edges, or you can select all of them with the shift alt like you normally were, and then just hit X, and dissolve edges are in here too, so you have multiple options. And we'll just do dissolve edges, voila. Same thing with this and this, dissolve edges, those. I don't know if that went all the way through or not. Dissolve edge, there we go. So that kind of fixed some of our problem. That looks okay. It dissolved this edge. Now I'm pretty sure if I undo and then just shift select that and the other one, it won't dissolve all those. So we can fix that if you want. It's up to you. I'll do it just to keep my symmetry going right. So undo, undo. So that one's okay because that didn't touch any circles. So we can dissolve those edges without any issues. But these other ones down here, you're gonna need to go ahead and fix that. So edge and shift select those, move back, grab that one, dissolve edges, and good. I kept the other ones that we needed. Now I don't know if it'll allow us not to remove this edge, because usually I've seen where it needs to keep one, so I'm not sure how well this is going to work, but we need to add a loop cut here and here to pull out a wall, and then we're going to bridge those two walls together. We're not going to close off the top because we need to be able to slide our pillow block through and mount it, so we just need a wall kind of like how this one is, where you can put something in the middle but it's covering the top. So it's basically the same thing. So if I do Control R, see, it's only doing the top, which I'm not really liking because it's not doing the back part, and I don't know why those edges are selected down here. Probably should have gotten rid of these two just to be safe. Hold on. Let's go out of object mode. We're gonna hide these two guys really quick so we can see. We went into object mode and then back into edit mode so we can see what's going on here. I'm gonna hit dissolve edge. Okay, that's not working. Let's do. Hold on. Shift, Control Shift, hit dissolve edges, there we go, dissolve edge. Okay, we don't want this one selected or this one. Dissolve edge, alright, perfect. And then we'll do the top two. Maybe that's what's causing the issue. If I could just dissolve all these edges. There we go. Removed all those edges that we don't need. So we moved basically those holes we booleaned into there. So, and these 4 holes are to mount our aluminum excursions, so you don't have to worry about trying to remove those. So now that we're done with that, if we do Control R for a loop cut. See, it wants to do it in the middle. We don't want the middle. And see, if we keep scrolling up, it's going to do more. Plus, if I do Control 1, that'll give us this back side view. If I do Control R for a loop cut, it's not showing on the back. So to compensate, we can do where we can do the loop cut at the top and then help drag it down with a knife. See, we have 2, 3, 4. So we'll do at the top view so it makes more sense. So Control R. No, that way. Yep. 1, 2, 3. That gives us 4. If we hit that and then we scale, double click scale on the X and hold down the control button, that'll help move it in like 1mm increments. And then if we just deselect these two, I don't know if that went all the way through to the bottom, so we're gonna double check. Nope. Okay, maybe that's what's going on. The bottom doesn't even have any edges. That's strange. I have to block that up. So let's undo this for now, so we can fix our bottom here. Maybe that's what's going on. I didn't see that. No, we don't want that. Let's go ahead and grab all those. Box it in with F to face. Alright. Now let's see if our loop cut would work. Control R. Not showing nothing. Okay, that's nice. Let's go to top view. Control R. 2, 3, 4. Okay. Let's see, did it do the bottom too? No. And I don't know, this bottom is looking a little skeptical. Let's just double check our face orientation. So if we go to hit face, okay, so everything is looking blue. That's good. If it was opposite faces, it'll look red, so that's good. At least we know what's going on here. Now we go to 7. And we deselect this one and this one, hit scale S, X and the X axis, hit control to drag it on 1mm increments here. So we're at 10mm right there. I don't know if this is going to match up or not. We can go to object mode again, grab this and pull this forward so we can kind of see. Click on this guy, go back into edit mode. So we're close. We're going to bring this one. Actually, you probably should bring them both over to like the furthest over here, so that way you'll have something to mount to. Because we're not mounting stuff through here. This is going to be our wall. So let's grab this. Actually, no, not yet. Let's go ahead and scale this some more. SX, control, one about right there. Grab that one and this one, SX, and pull. So right about there looks pretty good. That's on both sides. So now, if we do this and we want to do vertices, we'll click on the vertices here. We can go, I think underneath may be able to do it too. Let's double check. Control R. Yep, so we do have the ability to do underneath, which is perfect, because then we can really line it up the way we want. So Control 7 will give us the underneath, basically. If we do edges, see, we're looking underneath the top vertices. This isn't the top. So if we deselect all that, hit Control R for the bottom, scroll it out to 4, hit enter, and double click. Now if we deselect that one, and we hit SX, scale to here. And then we grab this one and this one, SX, oh wait, no, we need to deselect, no, deselect that guy and this guy, then we hit SX and pull, no, too far, there we go. So that looks better. Okay, now if we do Control 1, that'll give us our front face. You want to see our vertices, so we can get these dots lined up pretty nicely. I think this will work. I'm just double checking here, so I don't want them to be off. That looks about right. Probably do need to move these over. I'm not sure just yet, because this may be in the way. We'll see. I'm trying to just make sure it's straight. So we're going to deselect everything by pressing A. Hit K for the knife tool. Click that one and this one. See, I don't know why it doesn't look straight to me, but it's showing straight on here. Vertices should be straighter than that. Hit enter. Let's see once we zoom in. Okay, so that is a little off. We want to line this guy up with that guy. What about you down here? See, this one is lined up correctly. It's lined up right on the line, so I can see. Let's undo that. Make sure both of these top ones are, yeah, they're not, at least the center ones aren't lined up. These ones right here. So if we do Z for wireframe, and then deselect everything by pressing A a bunch of times, and then B to bot select, we can move this vertex over. 1, 2. There. That fixes that problem for that side, and then we have to do the same thing for this side. And then deselect, bot select, and 1, 2. By holding Control and just pulling it over. Now that we have that done, we're going to do, let's just do a material view, which was looked of before the whole update. See, now we can see that it's lined up perfectly. So if we just select this one vertex right here, yep, good. We can start modeling this up. So if we do a knife tool again, should line up perfectly now. Straight, see how there's no weird formations. If I just press enter, that'll line up nice and straight, and then we're gonna do the same thing with the rest. So we just hit this button, hit that one, perfect, hit enter. So now we have 2. Okay, we're gonna do the same thing with the other side. We're gonna deselect all that, hit knife, K, grab that one, enter, and then again, K, grab that one, and that one, enter. Okay. So that one is kind of right. We can go ahead and select our faces now. Select that face, and this face. Go to the top view, and then we're gonna extrude it out. So this is, I believe, 10 millimeters thick. So you have options. If your stepper motor is normal, you can It really just depends, but I'm using M4 or M5 screws. So I'm gonna do about 25 millimeters. Should be a good, well, I don't know. I'm looking at my design for the CNC machine right now, and the gap looks about 40 millimeters for it's touching the, for it to sit in the bracket and everything. So we'll do, I think you can get, yeah, you can get 45 millimeter bolts, I believe. So we'll do 40 millimeters. So how we're going to know that is each one of these blocks is a set of 10. So we just have to go up to this line right here. So if we do E to extrude on the Y only, and we hit control, we pull that up 10 blocks, so 4 times, and there you have it. So that is 40, but then we're going to have to add another amount because we want to gap these together, so we can do 35. I'm trying to figure out how we're going to set this up because we want the insides to mount together. We could just split it, maybe. Let's see. Control R. Can we do it on the inside? No, it's not letting us. Okay. So the only thing I could think of is if we go to 35, pull it up about 5, and then that'll fix our problem there. So we'll zoom in, so get closer. Now you can see more of the squares, and then we'll just pull back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's half. And then we'll do another extrude, so E and then on the Y, and we'll just pull it up 5. There you go. And then once that's done, we can hit object mode really quick. We're going to select this guy, hide him for now, go back into edit mode for this one, and then we're going to select this, this, and this, this, and this, hit X, and we're going to delete the faces. And now what we'll do is select our edge select here. I'm going to try to do this kind of like flip down mode so you guys can kind of see. So we're going to grab this edge, this edge, this edge, this edge, this edge, and this edge. Actually, you know what? We'll just do these two first. Hit F to face. Grab this one, and this. Oh, not that one. That one. F to face. This one, and this one. F to face. So we just boxed that portion in. Now we just have to grab this, this, this. Oh wait, no, not that one. F. Maybe we should do the inside first. It'll probably be easier to do the inside first. F to face. F to face. Now we do the outside. This one, oh, not that one. Try to speed this up now. F. F. And F. Now, if you're a person like me that likes their geometry really profound, I guess, or your vertices more cleaned up, you can select these. Now you can do a where you edge select, where you hit Alt and then select all, I believe. But see, it's going all the way through, and I don't know if you really want to mess with all that extra stuff, but I mean, we can deselect this and this here. That probably would be faster, but then it goes around, so you have to do all those. So it really just depends on how you want to go about it. I'm trying to speed the workflow up for you guys, but this is one of those type of scenarios that if you're trying to clean things up, your workflow is gonna slow up a little bit. But I mean, it's more easier to work with. So we dissolve those edges. So we're cleaning up all our edge loops here that we don't need, or edges. So I'm just gonna click all these instead of doing that whole whip around stuff. Dissolve edges. Okay, so that one had to stay on. Those two stood on. You can see those stood on there. And so did those, but that's fine. And we don't need this or this. So we'll grab that one, that one, that one, and this one. And dissolve these edges too. And same thing for these. We can hit this one, this one, this one, and this one. And the same underneath. I just like cleaning up my geometry because it's a lot more easier to work with, guys. You'll see what I mean in a moment because we're going to be doing booleans and that thing can get a little complicated. I don't know if we can dissolve all these or not, but we're going to try. If it doesn't, then it just means we can't. So it's not a big deal. Dissolve edges. So left one, which is fine. I needed something to connect through. Okay, but now we have our box. I'm going to just clean this up here now. Let's see, go to the bottom. No, there we go, there we go, there we go, there we go, there we go. Come on, there we go. Dissolve edges. Okay, so it left one on each top, so that's fine. Two. Okay. So now we have our box selected here for our stuff to go into. And now if we go into object mode and we hit Alt H to unhide everything, we can get our stepper motor back. I'm going to go to top view. We're going to pull this back. Now you see what I was talking about. Once we slide this guy in here, which it has enough space to do it. See, there's a little bit, it's a millimeter of a gap, which is fine because when you're 3D printing this stuff out, it's going to shrink here, so it may just be really close, but it should be just perfect for you guys. So yeah, now we have that. So we're gonna probably have to pull this out some more now that I see this, because once this gets mounted, this doesn't sit inside of here. It's about 10 millimeters away from there. So if we zoom in a little bit, we'll pull this out to match right about there. Let's see, is it really matching or am I? No, it's touching. So what we'll do for that, let me move our cursor to right here, and then we're going to set our origin to 3D cursor so we can have a finer movement. So I'm going to have to zoom in a little bit here and pull using increments. Perfect. Okay. Now what we'll do is Control or Shift C to reset our cursor to the center. And then we're going to reset our origin to the center for this guy. So we're going to do center of mass volume. And there you go. Now if we pull back, this is in millimeters. So if this is 5, this is 10 right here. So that's about the length of the shaft stuff. So if we could pull this back some so we can just instantly mount it straight onto this plate, then you wouldn't have to worry about screws or it not mounting properly, which would probably be better to do instead of having that weird other gap. So I guess we'll do that. That should work. So if I measure with, I'm just measuring with my eyes right now, but I guess I could really quick grab a, I don't know how long those are. Hold on. Maybe if I find it really quick on my eBay listing that I have when I bought the stuff. It should show how long those couplers are. Sorry if it's taking long, guys. I just need to find this really quick. Shouldn't take too much longer though. So I know I just recently bought all those. It's not really showing me the overall picture of the coupler, like how big it is really. Let me see if it says anything. Shaft coupler. It is 6.35 millimeters by 10 millimeter shaft, so those are 10 millimeter couplers for the diameter, but it's not showing the length of the coupler. That's the issue, because we're not sure how big the coupler is right here. So I'm gonna have to actually design it, which poses a little bit of an issue because I'm not sure how big it is. I will have to stop this, but so far I know for sure the coupler has to be at least 30 millimeters in length, because a 20 millimeter block, yeah, it's got to be at least 30 millimeters in length. So I can do that, and we know for sure that the shaft is 10 millimeters by 6.35. I did open it up though. I used my drill and made it for like an 8 millimeter shaft, but we can just add it really quick. So I just don't know what the outer diameter of everything is. So if I just do shift A, we're gonna add a cylinder. Now that added over here. Now if we know for sure that it is a 10 millimeter shaft. Well, 10 by 8, but I just put 10 just to be safe. And then it's 30 millimeters. Now if we do 1 on a numpad, 3 on a numpad, gonna do R to rotate 90 degrees, and then we're going to control pull this to the back, lift it up. I have to zoom in a little bit here so you can see. Bring this down. There we go, that looks better. Now we go to top view. So it's 30 millimeters. Our shaft is 10 millimeters away from that. So we need right here. So that means this would have to go out to about right here. Yeah, because once there's a little connector piece, it's a stopper to keep the ball bearing screw in. The ball head screw inside of here is a little like a little block lock nut type of thing. I forget the name of it, but it's there, and it's about 10 millimeters. That's why I'm giving this gap right here. So I would say it's about another millimeter away. Undo that movement. That was not what I was trying to do. Okay, so we'll give 1 more millimeter of a gap there. Do about 2. That gives us enough clearance at least. So if I pull it back about 2. Okay, so that's basically our shaft. Now it's not that it's fatter than this, but the overall length is the same. And then so now this is going to be connected, so we'll have to do about half. So right about there. So you can see how far we need to pull this back into there. That's the reason why I'm doing this, is because you need to see everything correctly. So if I click on this, hit tab, then we're going to zoom in and we're going to select our vertices here, and then we're going to Z wireframe, hit A to deselect everything twice, and then B to bot select only these vertices right here, and then we're going to pull all the way back to match this guy right here. So that should be enough space. Then we need to cut out a hole that mounts this hole. So it has to be that big, because then it'll mount everything. Everything will be inside the center and should work out just fine. And then you don't have to add any kind of extra stuff. I'm not sure how thick this is. Honestly, it's one of those things where you can't really make it any fatter, I don't think, because what I'm trying to get at is, if you look at the mounting holes for this, we're already getting really close. And honestly, I don't know if we should have been that close either, because we're gonna have a we're gonna have screws going in here, and I don't think the screws would be able to fit with this right here. I feel like there's gonna be a little bit of a gap thing going on right there. I need to probably pull this in a little bit, so that's gonna make this even thinner. But if I just click these two vertices and then we go to view and then segment these, and I hit show, 5 millimeters thick, which isn't much. And if we're pulling in another millimeter to keep that away, that's going to be 4 millimeters thick. I mean, it'll hold, and it's pretty, you know, fat for itself anyway. I mean, there's a lot going on here to help with the rigidity, I guess, if you want to call it that. I mean, we could always box the back part, you know, close this off, make it even extra stronger. I'm just not sure if that's what you guys want to do, because I don't know. It's one of those where, like, you could do that. It's really up to you. If you want to box select and close it out, you can, and you can make it kind of thick, because there's a lot of gap in here. If you see that, all this extra gap will help strengthen it up a little bit. And then it has somewhere for it to sit on. I may just do that, because we only really need the top. Anyway, so now that we have that, we're going to hide all this. And we're going to pull this side in a little bit, like I said. So if we grab the face, this face, and this face, go to 7 on the top view mode, and then we're going to scale on the X, and we're just going to pull in, that's not going to work. We're just going to have to not do it that way then. It's fine. We'll just grab one. Because see, whenever you scale it, times it by 2. So it went down from 5 to like 2.5 or some weird junk. So if I do just grab the one face and pull it over 1, see it pulled over 1. As long as you're holding the control button, you can do the same thing on this side. 7. And make sure you can see the individual blocks. And there you have it. So that should give us enough room for our screws to actually mount our aluminum excursion in. So now that we have that, we can go ahead and do edges here. Let's see if we can do an edge loop inside. Control R. So we can, but it doesn't seem to do it all the way around. It's only doing one vertice thing here. So there is ways around this, but I do like it when I can do the edge thing. It makes it a lot easier. Or let's let's see if we can just grab these bottom edges, hit F to face. So now that's a complete face. And then if we do here to 3 on the right orthographic view, hit Z wireframe. I don't know, that kind of works, but then it doesn't. The reason why I say that is because if I extrude, I don't know if they're going to be touching or not. I mean, this is box faced in, but we can try it. E to extrude on the Z, so we're going up, and we're going to try to touch that guy right there. But see, I think touching that messes with, yeah, the amount right there. So we're not going to be able to touch that unless we can go down for this portion. Like this will be like a level playing field for that, and then we can bring this down a little bit for our screws to mount in. So we can do that. But first, let's double check our information in here. So if I want to grab just a vertice, is there one vertice? Does it pull? That's what we're trying to see right now. Yeah, you see that? It's not one vertex. It's not connected. That's the issue I was thinking we were going to come into contact with. So I'm undoing all those attachments and stuff and the extrusions. And then we're going to have to try to cut it out and make another loop. So this is going to be a little more difficult, but we can handle it. So if I do on the inside that edge loop I was telling you about, so if I grab this vertice mode, control R, we don't want that, we want that one. So we'll double click that, go to this view, do wireframe so we can see. We're going to bring this guy down to here. And the reason why is because we want an even playing field here. And then on the inside, we're going to have to do some finagling, which is going to be a little difficult, but I'm going to walk you guys through it. So if I hit hit A multiple times to remove the selection, and we're going to just hit the knife tool. But first, let's move this guy out of the way for a second here. So hit hide, hide, and hide. Now we go here, object edit mode, and we're gonna hit this vertice again. We're gonna do knife. It's not letting me to select it. Let me see. See if I can hit K for knife. Okay. Why isn't it allowing me to select it? I don't know. Maybe it can only do on the outside, which is strange. Knife. Very peculiar. Not sure why my knife isn't working. Strange. I'm not sure what's going on with my knife. Okay. That's odd. I'm not sure what's happening right now. Alright, fine. So what we could do is this. We'll select this, hit subdivide. That'll give us an extra vertice in here. So we can try to match these vertices up with each other. If we do 3, And then you can see it's right there, so we don't have to really do the wireframe stuff, but probably better so we can see. Wireframe. Bring it down. We're gonna have to zoom in here because that's the reason why I didn't want to do subdivide, because then it takes some time to put it where it needs to be at. Right there. Okay. So now each side, let's see if we could do knife now. See, I don't know what's going on with my knife tool. It's not working. It's very strange. So usually you can knife everything. Well, if I grab these two and we can do let's see, loop tools, extrude vertices now, new edge, there we go, that'll work. So now that whole edge should be connected. Yep, good, fantastic. Undo that movement. I don't know what's going on with my knife tool, guys. I tried to get it working right, but that thing is just not cooperating for nothing. Alright, grab this one, and we're going to do subdivide. See, I always try to find a workaround whenever something is happening like this. Blender is tricky. It likes to be a little finicky, so you always have to have some kind of workaround. Okay, let's zoom in, so we can see, pull this guy up to this one, perfect, zoom out, I'm gonna go on the inside now, I need to select these two, and we're gonna do a new edge, there it goes. So we have those two, and then now we just have to grab these two and new edge. And that'll be usually an F to face, but you know, sometimes when that face stuff happens, I don't know, I get a little worried. So sometimes that stuff does not work out the way you want it to. So if you want to look at a regular material view, looking pretty good. So now that we did all that extra work, the one thing we need to do now is first we are going to subdivide these two, I believe is what we need to do. If we want to have that floor, which I really would like to have that floor for it to sit on. I don't have none, yeah, so, and I'll show you what I mean. So first we're going to get out of there, go into object mode, hit Alt H to unhide everything, get back into this one only. And you can see now if we go to third view, wireframe, that one's level, but this one is not. So we just want to make sure that we subdivide these two before we do our cut, I believe. Well, actually, we'll have to probably subdivide it after we make this stuff. So here's what I mean. First, we're going to have to select faces. Let's do the look material view. Grab. Why isn't it grabbing that face? I don't want all those faces. Just this one. Uh-oh. What's going on? Okay. Let me hide these again. Something isn't seeming right. Why isn't it letting me grab that face? They should be together. Right? You just pull. Let's do face orientation really quick, guys. Aha, something wasn't seeming right. You see that? What is that? It's like there's a double vertice thing going on. So if we try to select all this, this isn't going to be a face. That's why I didn't want to do that. God, this edge stuff. Only this one's correct. And we can't do... See, all this did was add a... All it did was add a vertice edge right here. If I delete this... Oh, no. Dissolve edge or delete edge. Hold on, edges. Bam. See, we don't need another edge. I just need this to be connected to this, but we have to cut through here. That's why I would like my knife to work. For some reason, it doesn't want to. This is becoming a predicament. Let me try closing out Blender really quick and seeing if that'll work. I'm going to save my progress thus far, but first let me remove these other edges that we don't need, that aren't really edges to begin with. Because watch, if I pull it out, they're not really connected together on the inside. They do this weird effect here. So if I pull, let's say I pull this all the way through. I don't know, maybe that one is connected. Let me see if I'll try to select all these. See, it doesn't select the face. And that's the issue I'm running into. If I select the face, it's going to be just this one. It's not going to be that. Oh, God. Alright. X. Delete the edge. I'm going to leave that one on there so we have somewhere to, like, trail. Well, actually, no, because the vertices will be there, just not the edges, I think. We could try it. Let's view vertices. Yeah, okay, the vertices are still there, so that's good news. Alright, so let me just file, save, and we'll close out Blender. Guess this 2.81 is having some issues. Okay, closed it out, finally. Now let's see about bringing it back up. And this one. Okay. So let's see if we can use our knife tool now. Still not working. I do not understand this at all. The top view. Let's just select any random thing, see if our knife will work with anything right now. So select this. And we'll do knife. Yeah, see, now it works on this one, but I don't understand why it's not working on the other object. So do that. Go back to this one. Knife. Okay, here it goes. Knife. Still not working. What's the difference from doing it on the top? That shouldn't even matter. Oh God, why am I having so many issues with this? Okay, the only thing I can think of at this very moment to actually make this work Let's do delete this face. And now we should be able to work on the inside here. So if I do K, knife, click, hit enter. Okay, that's not working. Okay. Knife. It's like it will not allow me to do this knife, guys. I just don't understand what is going on right now. It's very upsetting. Should be able to do a knife anywhere. Jesus. Okay, now I have to find another workaround. So one thing I don't like is having to find workarounds for stuff. What if we duplicate this edge? Let me select this edge down here. You know, we could drag these edges up to the line that we wanted at and then extrude down. I think that would be our best option at this point because I'm just not having luck with this. Okay, so if we grab all these edges here, go to this view, look at the wireframe, and bring them up to there. I'm gonna have to do it all. Select all the edges on the bottom, pull it up to the top. Wait, let's see, we're in the halfway mode. Okay, so we're in halfway. Then we hit extrude on Z, pull it down to there. That actually gave us the extra edge we needed for both areas, but we're gonna have to remove this edge first. Dissolve edges or delete edges. Was it dissolve? Dissolve edges. And that means we don't need those vertices either, so I'm gonna have to dissolve those too. So if I do this, we grab that vertice, and that's all. Hit dissolve vertices. Good. I mean, that was a simple fix, kind of, but I really like using my knife because it just, that to me is easier for some reason. I don't know about everybody else, but the knife is easier for me. Okay. Just want to double check to make sure no vertices are interfering with anything else. Just undo that, so we're at halfway to that line. Now we can do extrude on the Z, bring it down to halfway, good. And now we can go to edges, or faces really. Deselect Z, material view, we're gonna grab this face, and this face, and this face, and this face. Hit X to delete all those faces. And now if we grab the edge all the way around, hit F to face, and then the same for the bottom to cover that up, F to face. So now we have the floor that we needed underneath, basically. Then the only thing we have to do is kind of drag this portion of the floor down so that we will have somewhere for our stuff to mount to. So if we go to object mode, hit Control Alt H to bring our stuff back. And we're going to get this face orientation off now, so we don't need it. And we're going to look at wireframe here. So we need to bring this guy down to this level. So we need to hopefully do a cut. You know, I don't know how this stuff is working today, but we'll see. Seems like the knife is only working on this top view playing field here. So go into edit mode, select our knife. Or you know what? Just maybe we can subdivide these two. Subdivide these two right here. There we go. Now that gave us something to work with. Now we just grab this edge, bring it down to right here to line up. Now we can grab this whole face and pull this down. Oop, there we go. So if we wireframe mode so we can see, need to bring it down a good little amount here. Oop, actually, now that I think about it, we have to extrude downward, I believe. Or would it be? Yeah, we would have to extrude inward or downward if I can. Let me see. E to extrude onto Z, pull it down. Yeah, that would work. Right about there. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, looks good. Okay, so we got that fixed. So we have somewhere to mount our stuff to. Now, for sake of this, I'm going to pull it down another 2 because we're going to have a bolt and stuff in here that's mounting everything, so I just want to make sure there's enough space for that. But alright, so now with all those weird workarounds we had to do, you can see that it's looking pretty good now. We can clean the edges up too on the outside if you felt like it. It's completely up to you guys by just clicking on these here. And we just hit dissolve edges, and that fixed it outside, and the inside is okay. We don't really have to mess with that too much. I mean, maybe this one. Let's see if we can clean that up. Yeah, that looks better. So now the only thing we have to do is bowling cut out some holes for our stuff to mount to. So that would probably still be the same mounting holes as this over here. Most likely, I don't think there would be anything different. So if we go to front view here, we're going to do object mode, hit Shift A. We're going to go grab a mesh, do our cylinder, and I think this was like a 5mm if I'm not mistaken, so we'll do 5, and do like 50. And then if we go to this view, third person, or not third person, right orthographic mode, rotate 90 degrees, zoom out a little bit so we can match everything up. I'm going to bring this up here, bring this forward to right there, front view. I'm going to bring this down and over. So maybe it was 6. It could have been, or like a 5.5. I don't know. I'm wondering. 5.5? 5.5. Let's see if that matches up. Perfect. Yeah, it matched up. So Shift D to duplicate on Z, so we could go up, and we're going to be holding the control button, then we're going to grab both of those, then Shift D to duplicate on the X, we're going to move over, then we're going to grab all those, hit join, then we're going to set origin to center of mass volume, and then we're going to go to the top view, zoom all the way out, and then we're going to just pull these guys back. Zoom in and pull these guys in. So it's a little off, it seems like, because I'm pretty sure these mounting holes have to match up with these. So let's undo those moves and that set origin and all that. We'll just pull them back as multiple selected objects. And if we do this right, we'll hit scale on the X. That looks good right there, to be honest. We may have to just move them individually. I feel safer doing it that way. Top view. Move over. That's too big. Zoom in. Wireframe. And move it. Move it. That's good. Same thing with these two. Just trying to make sure we line everything up. Top view. Zoom in. Not enough. Good. Okay. So now if we do this one, we can see that they're lined up pretty accurately. And what we're going to do also is I'm going to Shift D to duplicate just this one. I'm going to pull it on the Y so we can get something amount for that guy. So we'll start that in a second. We're going to grab all these, hit join, and we don't really need to set the orientation, or yeah, we don't need to set the orientation. Now if we go to modifier, we're going to do a boolean for this guy, and then we're going to select these guys. Now if we hit apply, because it's already on difference, it should have cut through, so if we just hit X to delete those, and there you have it. Now we have somewhere to mount our stuff to. That's great. Now for this one, I'm going to go to this view, wireframe, so we can see where we need to mount these guys at. So right here seems to be pretty good. And bring it up just a tad, kind of even it out. Let's zoom in a little more. And right there, I think. Yeah, that'll work. Now if we do Control 1 so we can see if it's lined up properly, and it's not. We have to move it over a tad here. Too much. Right about there looks good. Okay. So that'll give us a good mounting spot. Then we'll do Shift D on the Z again, bring it up. There we go. Now if we do material view so we can see, just want to grab both of these here. This one. Shift D on the X, bring it over to right there. Think that's right. Let's just double check here. Zoom in. Looks good. Okay. Now that we have those, I'm gonna do select these guys, join them together, and then we'll grab this guy again, do another boolean, grab this dropper tool, hit apply, hit X to delete, and there you have it. So that should make the mounting holes. And we can double check our orientation and everything. Let's first hide this guy, make sure it goes through, good. And we're gonna hide this one and this one. And we're gonna go and hit edit mode, so hit tab. And just double checking everything really quick, make sure everything is looking accurate, looking good to me. And we can double check by orientation faces right here. So face orientation, everything is looking blue, which we need, great. So that right there would be where we can mount our stepper motor and pretty much everything that we need to mount to. Now we can take an extra step further. Now I don't know if you guys noticed, but if we go back to our object mode, let me just get out of face orientation here. If we hit Alt H, there's some top mounting holes too, but that's the issue, because once we get the thing to mount on the face, you won't be able to go through the center. But if you want it to mount flat down, you can just do these 4 screws instead to this faceplate. You'll just have to cut some holes out through the bottom. So you have those options. I just want to make sure you guys are aware of that. But other than this, guys, I know this was a longer video, and we had a lot of workarounds to work with, but this is pretty much it. Because once we get the coupler in there and mounts to the shaft and everything, the only thing we have to do next is cut a hole out for this. So let me just do that really quick. And that will be super simple. If you want the exact hole measurements, you can just do something like this. Hold on. First, let's hide this guy. I'll do this, try to get this done pretty quick so you guys don't have to sit around waiting here. Let's just hide everything except him. Okay, so if we do front face, zoom in, tab, and we are going to deselect everything and only select these edges. So if we select all these edges here, or you know what, instead of doing it that way, let me hold on. Sorry about that. Easiest thing would be to just add another cylinder, and then we're going to, let's just type some random numbers here. I'll do like, I don't know, 20, 20, 20, and then rotate R 90 degrees. I'm gonna pull this guy back, pull it up, zoom in, bring it down to the center, wireframe, that's centered. So now all we have to do is change this. Let's do 30, 30, nope, not big enough. 40, 40, too big. So it's 38, 38. Perfect. And then we'll do, we can leave it 20, but I'm gonna put 50 just cause. Anyway, Deselect. We're in object mode still, so we can do Control H to bring everything back. Do Z to do material view. And now you can see if we do select this guy, hit a modifier one last time, hit this, hit apply, hit X to delete, and there you have it. So now we can fully mount our motor inside of there without any issues. Really, I probably should have done 39 or 40 because it's easier if it's a little bigger. Right, you don't want it to be this to be too, once it shrinks anyway. You'll understand when you start 3D printing this stuff, because the extra 2 millimeters could be added to the shrinkage of the filament once it's done cooling. So we have that going on for ourselves. Now if we do Control H to bring everything else back again, grab this guy, add the modifier one last time, hit apply, X to delete. Now we have a bigger gap, so that gives us some room to play with there. But yeah guys, I hope you guys are liking the video. Please like, subscribe, let me know what you think. As of right now, this is actually finished. It shouldn't have any issues whatsoever. Let me hide this image so you can see, if we do material view, the mounting for everything should be accurate. So if we do one, zoom in and do wireframe, this circle represents the center, and if we select that, you can see the center is pretty accurate. Well, it's a little off actually. It looks like a few millimeters maybe, so I don't know, could be just me though. Yeah, because this is centered. It'll be alright. I think it'll be fine. I hope you guys liked the video. Please like, subscribe, let me know what you think. My name is Legit Lee, and we are finished with this project. I am signing out. Don't forget to save.